4.5 inch OK6. Get your housing, your arm, your nose, fishneck, lower arm. This is like your sleeve, your spring retainer, your plunger, core spring, tungsten ball, all your little screws you need, half dog set screw, your release plunger, finger housing, your lock ring for your finger cage, your finger, your adapter arm, finger springs, kick springs, your pins, your arm pins, and then all your little brass and steel pins you need. So that goes together. First thing I do is I take put it in the vise, take my nose, put a copper coat on it, screw it on. Now this goes on the bottom, the side with the skate. Some don't have skates. Tighten it up. Turn it around. Your top side. Now you take your finger housing, take your release plunger. You always want to face it away. Your finger will come out the bottom. You have dog set screw right here. You're gonna face this away. Take your brass. This particular size has a set screw on the back side. Hold the brass in. Alright, take your core spring, put grease on it, put it on top. Take your finger, put a little Loctite. The screws. Take your finger springs, your 2 finger springs. Yeah. Tighten them up. Bend them out a little bit. Make sure they have some kick to them. And you take your finger cage, finger housing. Take your little pin. Take that and put that in the vise. Make sure it moves back and forth freely. A brad, so your pin don't come out. Little brad. Put a little grease on your finger where it slides in and out. And that aside, take your finger cage, put your retainer ring on it. the way down. You take your arm and your adapter arm. You want to take your slot right here and line it up with your finger. Where it's in your barrel when it kicks. You have your springs on the bottom. And you put that, always line those two up. Your adapter arm goes on the back side. Slide it all together. You can slide it together ahead of time. Slide it all in there. You take your pin, slide your pin across, a pivot. Put it on the vise. Brad the hell out of it. Take this and you put this in the vise, like so. Take your tungsten ball, drop your tungsten ball in first, go hook into the adapter arm, your seat, bevel side for the ball, this is the top, your spring is going to sit on there, put pressure on the ball, drop it in a second, put a little grease on your spring, slide it in. Then you take your little piston and plunger, slide it in. This is a little tool we made in house over here. Slide it over the top. It catches in the hole for your adapter on these little screws. Allows us to press that little plunger down. And there's a hole in the front, and there's a hole in the plunger. You gotta line all that up. Once you get it all lined up, take a punch, knock your punch in, hold it all down, take your little tube off, take your adapter on, put your pin, pull the punch out, be careful you don't have your hands on the cracks, it'll pinch the hell out of you. Same thing on this side, brad the pin. Stop it all from coming apart. See, now you gotta round all your pins down. Come here to your housing, slide it all together. Put your little copper coat on the threads. Slide it all in there. Screw it all tight. Alright, that's it. I run out of thread. So now I gotta take my finger, make sure my finger's pointing at the bottom. Make sure your half dog set screw is pointing up in this little groove. Then you take your retainer ring, tighten it up to your housing. Try to get it to stay there. Looks like a lock nut. Wants to turn while you tighten it down, so you gotta kind of offset it a little bit. So when you tighten it up, it's straight. Pretty tight. Take it off. And now let's put the you put in all your big release plunger and all that. You can slide all that in now. Put some grease on it. Kind of line it up, line your finger up with the slot on the bottom. Take a hammer and push it through. When your finger pops out, that's it, you're good. And you take, it's OK 6, so you got a sleeve on there. You take your sleeve, put it on there, on the slot up with the set screw. Put your little retainer screw in. Tighten it up, stop the sleeve from moving around. Take your fishnet, the grease on your fishnet. Tighten it all up. You tighten it up, it's going to push all your release plunger all forward and everything's going to tighten up. Tighten that up. Come right here, grab hold of that and yank it open. Take your 2 kick springs, a little beveled washer, and you screw to hold it all together. Keep them lined up with the slot as you tighten it down. Tighten it down, that's it. Push it back down, make sure you don't put your fingers underneath it. Mash your finger. Alright, take your half dog set screw. A little copper coat on it. Put it in there. Hold your arm down as you tighten it down. Tighten up, snug. Take it out of the vise. Line your finger up on the vise. Hit your finger on the vise, it'll kick. Push it back. If it doesn't kick, you need to adjust your half dog. Hit it on the vise again. Should kick every time you hit it. You push it down, it should lock back into place, and there's your 4.5 inch OK 6 kickover tool.